Hey guys, Richard Hernandez here. Thanks for checking in. I wanted to jump right into it. I wanted to touch on something that I've kind of been working with a lot. Obviously, as some of you guys know, I work a lot with human resources departments, HR teams, things like that, whether it's consulting, training up their security teams, or just assisting them with termination, suspensions, and things like that. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. Was specifically, I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing a lot of safety tips or safety protocols, personal safety for human resource managers, or admin staff and things like that. With that being said, you guys are the first to really deal with the employee, whether they have a grievance or whether they have a complaint or a concern or anything like that. Literally to a certain degree, from start to finish, you guys know what's normal, what's not normal, what's unusual. You guys may be the first ones to kind of notice something that's out of the ordinary, some unusual behavior, and that might be a key indicator to in a sense preventing something from escalating. All right, so moving on. These are going to be my 3 safety tips for my human resource managers, and as always, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is something definitely to build off of. First and foremost is don't explain away anyone's behavior. Now, what I mean by that is if you guys sense something's off or something's unusual, or maybe there's comments that are made that kind of there's something off about it, don't explain the behavior away or don't explain the comment away. Go ahead and make note of it. Make note of it. Go ahead and monitor. Obviously, you don't have to be intrusive. I know that there's certain policies, regulations, laws, and things like that. But like I said, it's something where you just want to make note of it, whether it's documented or your personal mental note, whatever it is. Just make sure that you don't try to explain a behavior, someone's behavior away. And like I said, what I mean by that is just kind of disregard it or ignore it, or just kind of downplay and be like, you know what, they were just messing around, or something along the lines. So number 2 would be notify your security teams. Obviously, hoping that you guys have an in-house security team, whether it's contracted or whether it's a local PD or whatever the case may be. Hopefully, you guys have a good in-house security department with the security officers, whether it's plainclothes personnel, uniformed, or whatever have you. Notify your security team. Obviously we want to be discreet, obviously, when there's issues going on with employees or whatnot, but anything to do with suspensions, terminations, or any, vague threats or threats that were made towards whether it's you or, other of the administrative staff, make sure that you let your security teams know. Unfortunately, I've been over the years in different situations where, we're the last to know. When the situation has escalated to a point where it's like, it's a potential threat, and we're the last ones to know because it's kind of gotten out of hand, and now the HR department needs us to kind of step in and assist. And like I said, with a good security team in place, you guys could work hand in hand in conjunction with taking preventative steps and whatnot. But that'd be my number 2 for my HR managers, is make sure that you notify your security department. Hopefully you guys have some sort of assessment task force, or a good security team in-house, or whatever have you. But like I said, that'd be my number 2, is make sure you guys notify your security department. Number 3 for me would be, and make sure that as an HR manager, I'm sure that you guys already know this and are doing this, engage with your staff and your employees. Obviously, you guys are the best ones that have, like I said, that first personal interaction with the good and the bad. Obviously, you guys are the first ones they see when they get hired on. You guys are maybe one of the ones that are there in the meeting if they get in trouble, whether it's write-up, suspensions, things like that, leading up to maybe terminations, and hopefully not. But like I said, you are the ones that literally know the employee's behavior to a certain degree when they're good and when they're bad. With that being said, is have some sort of outreach program where you want to obviously be open, have them communicate with you. And the reason I bring this up, because over the years I've seen this happen time and time again, where there's employees that are going through divorce, they're going through a child custody battle, or they're going through some situations that they actually have active restraining orders and whatnot, but they don't communicate that to the HR department. And I feel that's really important, just because we've been in certain incidents where if we would have known as a security team about those things, or if HR would have been advised, there's certain precautions that we could have taken into place. But hand in hand with my number 2 is, obviously, once an employee kind of confides in you and tells you, hey, we're going through this issue, there's active restraining order or a temporary restraining order, TRO, or whatever have you, make sure, like I said, back to number 2, is that you let your security department know. build that relationship, build that rapport with your staff and your employees, so that they're open that, unfortunately, if they are going through a situation like that, you know, that they go ahead and notify you that, hey, you know what, going through a divorce, I'm going through a, you know, a tough child custody issue, or, you know, I have a restraining order. Those are some of the top three that we've seen, just, you know, in the corporate sector, so if you will. With certain events that have occurred or incidents that have occurred, and they could have been prevented if that communication was there. And like I said, working hand in hand with your security department or your administrative staff, management, whatever have you, make it something where it's a topic that's discussed. So if any of your employees are ever in a situation where they're dealing with that, they feel comfortable to come to you, and then from there you could discreetly talk to your, you know, security team, your security task force, whatever have you, so that there could be preventative measures put in place so that incidents do not escalate. Other than that, like I said, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is definitely something very just scratching the surface of things, to kind of a list to build off of. And this is mainly because I haven't really seen anything out there specifically for personal safety for human resource managers. Like I said, I could be wrong, but this is just based on, you know, my experience over the years working with some of these managers and admin staff that I've had the privilege to work with. But other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions regarding this topic, please feel free to DM me or message me. As always, I'll provide my information in the link below. Other than that, guys, as always, stay safe and thank you.
None of you did anything to prevent this?
There was nothing we could do. We were totally unprepared for this.
Ah! Don't give me unprepared. You knew then, and you did nothing.